And we are live. Welcome to the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Willie. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing. Joining me today are my two lovely co-hosts. Why don't you two introduce yourselves?
What's going on? My name is Jackie. I'm still very sick. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego. Apologizing in advance. My kid is screaming outside my bedroom door because I'm not letting her in.
Yo, I'm Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFien. That's F-I-E-N. And thank you for joining us as we are here talking about another Cardinals loss. I'm looking forward to the Cardinals heading to Pittsburgh, looking for a Cardinals road victory for the first time this year. But unfortunately, we got to touch on that blowout 37-14 loss at the hands of the Los Angeles Rams. Jackie, you were there. How did that go?
It got very quiet, very fast, very low energy. When will this team ever be able to fucking guard a tight end? My lord, we got fucking lit up by Tyler Higbee. Year after year, it seems like we get lit up by Tyler Higbee. So, yeah, the crowd.
And it always feels like it's the only game he ever shows up in. I'll grab him on my fantasy roster every so often because, he does good against us and he doesn't show up. But when it comes to the week against us, he's fucking Tony Gonzalez out there.
Yeah, no, motherfuckers looks like prime fucking Travis Kelce every time he plays us. And I was joking to Colby. I'm like, remember when we drafted Isaiah Simmons, who was advertised as a tight end killer?
Right. And I feel like the Cardinals have done a little bit better of a job for the most part this season. But, yeah, with how depleted we are defensively, especially you're losing Kaiser White. But, I mean, this week we're looking forward to Pat Freiermuth, who had 9 catches, 120 yards last week against the Bengals. His 9 catches are half of his 18 that he has on the year because he missed a bunch of games for being hurt.
Also,
he's just tight end who, unfortunately, looks like probably going to light up this defense, considering Kenny Pickett can't throw the ball further than 20 yards down the field.
Also, it should be noted that since Matt Canada's gone, they're actually going to start incorporating the tight end because that's the thing I had heard about Matt Canada's offense is that he just had very little variety in terms of who was targeted and who was being used. So,
what you're saying is that Kenny Pickett's gonna look like prime Roethlisberger, right?
Against us, yeah, for sure.
All right, women of Pittsburgh, you've been warned. Fucking stay inside. Don't go out.
I mean, at this point, I'm kind of even a little bit more worried about their running game. You know, you got that Jaylen Warren who's been popping off, looking like a great running back so far, averaging almost 6 yards an attempt, 5.8, and then you got Najee Harris. So, going up against a Cardinals defense who just got ran over last week to the tune of 228 rushing yards. So that's not good. And, thank God the bye is next week and the season's going to be wrapping up not too long after that because, man, has this, the way the season started with how competitive we were, it was, promising. But, for my money, this last game was the worst game of the season, even worse than the Browns. I mean, we didn't expect that much, with the rookie starting under center against Cleveland. But, with Kyler and then this offensive line, and then James Conner getting, 5 rushes all game, only getting his last rush attempt came on the first series of the second half. So, and then we went ahead and we cut Keontae Ingram. I do think that maybe they were trying to give Michael Carter an extended look last week, and they showed him enough to think that, he's a viable upgrade over Ingram moving forward, not even this year, but possibly next season as well.
So, yeah, I fully agree when you say this is our worst loss of the year, because at least with the Browns game, you have the excuse of, okay, well, this is a rookie quarterback who, looked like he had some kinks in the armor during the preseason, going up against a top-rated defense in Cleveland and just getting absolutely pummeled. That makes sense. The Rams are, they're about 500 now, if not 500. I mean, this is not a team that should. This is not a team that should be giving us this much of a fit. Matt Stafford looked like he was back in Detroit with the way he was playing. No, it was
more than 10 yards.
It was a very humbling and very humiliating game for the Cardinals.
Especially when you've got Kyler Murray back, who has been looking pretty shaky. You know, he came out swinging against Atlanta last week. You know, it was okay, but man, this week, you know, I hate to say he looked like shit, but then again, it's like the fucking line wasn't holding, and then you know our wide receivers suck. Greg Dortch right now is looking like the best wide receiver on the team. So with that being said, Greg Dortch, you are my big dick player of the week.
Woo! Ding 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 ding.
About time they finally got him involved. I mean,
right.
You know, there's a reports we didn't record last week. We apologize about that, but there were the reports that Hollywood Brown is expecting to re-sign with the Cardinals. But I mean, from what we have seen, I don't know how you guys feeling about Marquise Brown possibly coming back to. I mean, it all really depends on the price because you know, here we are entering week 13. He has 51 receptions, 574 yards. So he's not a wide receiver one by any stretch of the imagination. You know, he has 9 catches since Kyler's been back. He's got 4 touchdowns on the year. It's been over a month since he's had his last touchdown. So, I mean, how you guys feeling about that? I mean, personally for me, I'm okay with letting him go. I don't know, you know, I don't think he's a solution to our problems at wide receiver. He might be a guy who can, if you add a couple other bigger wide receivers into the mix, he could be a guy that, you know, could help you, you know, spread the field out a little bit. But I mean, at this point, Rondell Moore and, you know, Marquise Brown, I'd rather just have one of those on the roster, and you're not going to be cutting Rondell while he's still on a rookie contract.
Yeah, no, I think the only way you keep Brown after this season is if he's willing to take wide receiver 2 money. I don't think, like he'd have to take one for the team and take a low ball contract. And I know that is by no means good for him because why would he stay here? My bet, he seems like a prime Chiefs wide receiver. He's going to be on the Chiefs next year. But I think that I think he doesn't make us better per se if we keep him next year, but I think he doesn't make us worse either. He's kind of in that awkward little middle ground for a wide receiver.
Right. You know, that draft night trade is looking worse and worse with each game. And that was always like the thing is like Hollywood's a ball dropper, but his hands fucking suck. And I don't want to give him wide receiver 1 money. You know, fucking Christian Kirk has ruined the wide receiver market right now. So he's got to be smoking dick if he thinks he's going to get anywhere near that because the play is just not there.
No, he should be getting less than Christian Kirk, you know. I mean, he can't catch a 50-50 ball with, you know, if it fucking landed in his lap. Which, I mean, you know, a lot of people, Kyler's going to get blamed for a lot of it. But when you look at it, you know, Michael Wilson's out of the lineup. He's your one big target, you know. So you're throwing downfield against safeties and DBs who are 6 foot, whatever, to receivers who are under 5'10".
Right.
If you're not leading them and it's not right on point, I mean, these guys can't go up and high point the ball to catch it. You know, that's what you want to see out of your receivers is going up and jumping over the DB. That's what made Larry Fitzgerald so special when, you know, he didn't have the speed, but you just threw it up to him when he was downfield and he would out jump every fucking DB. There's no chance in hell you have that on this roster. And it doesn't look like Michael Wilson's going to be back this week. If by everything that I saw earlier, it looks like it's going to be a rainy and snowy day in Pittsburgh. So it's going to be interesting to see how Kyler does and how Drew Petzing does, man. You know, we've talked about it numerous times how Drew Petzing's a rookie coordinator, trying to find his way into the league as well, and trying to, find the groove as a play caller. And so far, we just have not seen it. So hopefully, it is. I'm looking at the weather right now. It's supposed to rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday, cloudy Monday, rain Tuesday. So you're expecting rain in Pittsburgh 4 out of these next 5 days coming up. So if your run game isn't on point, then we're not going to have any shot in the world to pull an upset. I mean, whether you want us to pull an upset or not is, that's, subjective depending on the person. Because at this point, with 2 wins and in the number 2 spot of the draft, I mean, I just want to see Kyler fucking get better, look better, because I'm still of the belief I don't like any of these quarterbacks that are going to be going as high as they are. So I want to see Kyler one more year. And if he's not the guy, you're going to end up with another top 10 pick probably next year. And next year's a year you're going to want to move off of him, considering the dead cap. So, and his value, if you're going to trade him, I don't know what his trade value is, considering, he's coming off a major surgery. He's played 3 games, has 1 good game, 2 subpar games. So I wouldn't want to jump off him right now. I want to keep building this roster. We're in a prime spot with 2, hopefully top 20 picks, a top 3 pick, hopefully. So, keep building the lines, get some fucking defense, get a cornerback in here, a CB1, some defensive linemen, and let's fucking, let's see what we can do with the full offseason under Monty's belt. Because right now it's pretty grim, to say the least. I believe in Monty Ossenford. I believe in Jonathan Gannon for the most part. But you're only going to get so much leash, especially in an organization that has proven not to have that long of a leash for a lot of coaches. GMs are one thing, but next year you're gonna have to show some promise, or there are gonna be people calling for fucking their heads for sure.
Yeah, I got invited to a Facebook group called Fire Jonathan Gannon.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I'm like,
It's too early for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, Frank Reich, I can. Just calm your tits, people.
I will say, seeing how successful Shane Steichen's been in Indianapolis has given me some envy. I'm very, because I mean, by all metrics, they shouldn't be doing as good as they are. So I'm a little hurt that we don't have Shane Steichen right now. But I mean, people who are saying we should move off Kyler this earlier are so fucking foolish, because the only way that works for us is if we find somebody who is stupid enough to take on that dead cap and take on that contract in its entirety. Because if we trade him right now, I mean, we have a fuck ton of cap for the next few years. That goes down the toilet. We can count ourselves out of a rebuild. I think people are being very rash. I think they're being very foolish. He is in week 2 back from a major surgery that's kept him out for a year. I think everybody's having a bit of a knee-jerk reaction right now about Kyler.
Yeah, plus, like I said, our line sucks. Fucking 90. We didn't get owned by Aaron Donald. Number 91 for the Rams was in the backfield all fucking game.
Exactly. And I think Aaron Donald is kind of in this team's head.
Yeah.
I think that he has had a reign of terror that's lasted years on us, and I think that whenever we play them, he just gets into our heads, and we just can't really pull it out.
I just don't think the offensive line is very good, to be honest.
Oh, that too. I said
it before he even came back. I want to see Kyler progress throughout. He wasn't going to come here and light it up consistently each and every game, considering he missed training camp, OTAs, preseason. This is basically his fucking training camp still. He's only been practicing for a little bit over a month, essentially, or less than 2 months. So, I do think there is a lot of knee-jerk reactions. People just want to get off him. And, I see people say Drake May. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, he's the same motherfucker that's going to push us back another 5 years. In 5 games against above 500 teams this season, He's completing 57% of his passes, and only once has he had a positive TD to INT ratio. And that's against above 500, not ranked teams, above 500 teams when you're in the ACC. So stop this. He's a big guy, and he's got a good arm, a little bit of mobility. But you can't be drafting him at number 2 and expect him to be a savior. You know, and can anyone look at Caleb Williams even and feel like he's a for sure can't miss prospect? No. You know, if we're at number 2, if we're at number 2 and Marvin Harrison is on the board and we do not take him, I think this fan base will fucking riot.
The way Caleb Williams moves around in the pocket, I imagine, you know, what's going through his head is similar to like when a girlfriend, you know, catches like porn in my tabs. Like, oh God, oh fuck, oh God, oh fuck.
What the hell?
I've never seen a touted prospect as nervous in the pocket as that man. He is terrified behind that line.
Especially when God. He's got 5 seconds per play to fucking drop back, you know. But none of these guys are surefire generational QBs. Maybe one will. Maybe they will. You know,
also,
I'll be wrong, but I would not feel comfortable risking 4 more years of dog shit fucking football to fucking bring in one of these guys and hang your hats on them when you're in a prime spot where even if we're at 3, let's say Marvin Harrison's off the board and you could just trade back and think about the shit that we could, you know, all the picks that we can have and at our, you know, for that draft, we could own the draft again because for the most part, we own last draft, you know, coming away from it. So many people were impressed by Monty Ossenfort locally and nationally, being able to get so many picks and land, you know, trade back, get Paris Johnson still. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. It is going to be an interesting offseason coming up. So hold on to your fucking seats, people, because it looks like today Zach Ertz got released. And I actually have a buddy who texted me he told me not to say anything, but he texted me at 7:52 on my way to work this morning. He says, I don't know if you can see. You probably can't see. Big name player getting released by the Cardinals today. I say, Connor? No, what did I say? Yeah, Connor? I said, no, sir. I'll tell you, but you can't post it anywhere. I don't know if you can read that.
No.
But it ended up being Ertz. He says, Ertz, I wish it was DJ. I can't stand DJ. Yada, yada, yada. He said it's supposed to happen this afternoon. I was going to post something in our group chat, but I totally spaced it when I got to work. But so, inside knowledge, I'm your boy.
What's that?
What are you doing over there? You're breathing hard into the microphone.
I'm gonna walk. That's the wind.
Oh,
sorry. It's a cold, windy night out here. I will say this whole season will be worth it when we all get the Adam Schefter notification on draft night. The Arizona Cardinals have just traded picks 1, 16, and 60 and 65 to the Chicago Bears for picks 2 and 3. It'll all be worth it.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what the Bears do. I mean, if I'm them, I'm not fucking picking a QB right there either. You know, they haven't had a good QB since what? Fuck. I mean, you got
never.
Yeah,
that's your answer.
You know, even when they won their Super Bowl, they fucking who was that? McMahon or
Rex Grossman? Oh wait, no. McMahon.
Yeah, I mean, they won by their defense, and you're in Chicago. It's a windy city for a reason. I mean, it's hard to have a QB who you're going to trust to be able to throw the ball in the winter. So for my money, I mean, if I'm the Bears, I'm trading back right there as much as possible, as much as. But
I call major bullshit on that because there have been great QBs in Green Bay. There have been great QBs in Pittsburgh. There have been great QBs in New York.
The Windy City. The Windy City. You're right off all those fucking lakes right there.
Oh, I know. But I mean, it's. You can't just say, "Oh, it's a talent issue; it's an ineptitude issue." They've had 100 years of ineptitude at quarterback. They've never in their entire history had a 4,000-yard quarterback.
Smoking Jay.
They're not throwing for that much in the fall and the winter. You know what the weather is there this weekend? I mean, I understand Green Bay, but they're not right off the fucking lake. Pittsburgh, sure, but I don't know. I do think there's something to it being in Chicago. You have to have a quarterback a certain type of way. A big arm. If you have a guy a big arm, but that doesn't always play out. But it's tough to say. I would still just build my team though. If you're the Bears, I'm building. I'm not fucking drafting one of these QBs. Can Caleb Williams come in and fucking play in the snow? Fuck you. No, he's not doing that. Maybe Drake May can come up in there. He's got probably the best arm in the NFL. But you want to fucking draft a guy who couldn't fucking prop his North Carolina team up, who got ranked 10th to start the season. Now they're out of the top 25, get smoked by their in-state fucking rival. No, I don't buy it. The Bears are just not a good franchise. They don't have good enough teams or support around them to be able to do anything, in my opinion.
Also, I never really got the hype on May. It feels like every year there's at least one guy that every draft analyst decides is going to be the Power 5, wonder kid. You'll have a guy from a school who goes 7-5, and they're like, oh, but this quarterback, he's pro ready. He's the guy of the future. Trubisky, Rosen, just any of those fucking guys who hadn't proven it earlier. Oh, all of a sudden they're pro ready.
Because they got good size and they have an arm, but they're not accurate.
Right.
Because they're white and they're 6'4".
Yep. I don't like the looks of him. I had to Google what he looked like.
And see, that's how you know he's going to be a bad quarterback. If he ain't a looker, he ain't a quarterback.
No, he looks like Kenny Pickett's goofy cousin.
There's a reason that the old baseball scouts say, oh, yeah, if he's got an ugly girlfriend, he's got no confidence. It's like, yeah.
That is true. I've heard that. But at the end of the day, it's all about what the Cardinals are going to do. Fuck the Bears. I don't give a fuck about the Bears. So, I hope that Marvin Harrison's there, and I don't know how many other wins we're going to have out in front of us. And that's why, Jackie, didn't we both predict, 3 wins this year?
Yeah, no, that seems like a fucking stretch.
Yeah,
I know I predicted 5 wins. That is a fucking stretch. And I thought maybe we could steal at least 3 more wins going forward now that we have Kyler back. And that's a fucking stretch.
I know. So we have Steelers, bye week, Niners, Bears, Eagles, and then we round out the season against the Seahawks.
We're not going to win another game.
You're going up against the Steelers team who's 7-4 now.
Who also just fired Matt Canada and looked like they had a breakthrough last week.
Who?
The Steelers.
I said they also fired Matt Canada last week, and they looked like they had a breakthrough last week.
Unless you're Deontay Johnson, sure.
This is the first time since I want to say 2019 that they've had a 400-yard game, total.
No way.
Yeah, on God.
Yeah,
swear to God.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, Matt Canada's offenses were so fucking bad.
And the Cardinals have given up back-to-back 400-yard games, so I wouldn't expect that much, since considering all the fucking rain that's supposed to be happening in Pittsburgh this weekend. But I would bank on Steelers having over 200 rushing yards though, total as a team.
Yeah, no, they're gonna smoke us on the ground, especially since it's a cold weather game. We do awful in cold weather games.
Yeah, and I think last week you saw how
dog shit our run defenses.
Well, how important Kevin Strong has been this year. I see fans fucking gloss that over. Are you watching the games? Apparently not. He's been by far best defensive lineman. You have him and Roy Lopez who weren't in there. And Roy Lopez has been really good for the last month or so. So you're leaving Dante Stills, who, the dude's a 6th-round pick. He's not going to come in there and, play every down or whatever and be, a lifesaver. He's good. He's been really good for us. But Kevin Strong, he's been by far and away the best defensive lineman in my eyes. When rewatching tape, it pops out. It's, not even a fucking second guess who's been the best defensive lineman. Then you have Lucky Fotu, who wasn't there as well. he's kind of been a mid guy for the last few years, but he's been kind of stepping into his own this season, I thought. And then you can't understate, losing our middle linebacker, our captain basically of the defense, the green dot. So it's going to be rough this final month or so, but hang in there. Hopefully by this time next year, or even by, the start of next season, we're going to see more on-field promise. The one thing I'm looking forward to is just Kyler looking a little bit more comfortable back there. Whether the offensive line is going to be better or not, who knows? But he can't go a game where he's only rushing once. I'm sorry. And that was in the first quarter. You can't just have him. You can't just sit back there and be a pocket quarterback. He's not that. He'll never be that. So you got to be able to put his intangibles to use. What makes him so great is that he's that dual threat guy. If he has one rush fucking this next week, I don't think we'll fucking put anything on the board. We might fucking, have a goose egg. So, I need to see better all around from this offense. It has to start with this offense. This defense is the lowest paid defense in the league. And they've been showing it recently. They've been leaking oil. And even earlier in the year when they were playing better, we were talking about it, and you just look at the depth chart and it's like injuries happen every year. Once injuries happen, it could be a downward spiral quick, and that's what we've been seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be sustainable from the jump, and then now it's really starting to show that this is the lowest paid defense in the league. And to everybody's, not surprise, but everyone's pleasure, I guess you could say, Marco fucking Wilson is on the bench now. That is very telling. Which, yes, everybody re-fucking Joyce. And, they threw out Keachal Clark that hasn't played in a few weeks. And he didn't do the best, but, he looks like he's trying. Like, this is the effort.
This is the time of the season where you should just try these guys,
Yeah, why not?
I don't think Garrett Williams is, I believe he's going to be a guy who can stick on this team and play for a handful of years for us and be, a better CB than, Marco Wilson has shown. But I don't think that he's going to be a CB1 at the end of the day, neither Keachal Clark. They need to go out this offseason and either through draft, hopefully draft, because in free agency, honestly don't know how many free agents are going to be coming here either. I mean, you just saw a report today, Zach Ertz is giving up. He got released because they agreed for him not to have his game check this week. So, and it's just little stuff like that, where it's just the Michael Bidwell effect. You'd never hear about that, where a guy's getting released the week of, and they came to an agreement that will release you if you don't accept this game check.
What the
because it's the start of the week. Even if he doesn't play for us, he's still on the books for this week, So
just a cheap motherfucker.
Just for that to come out, like what agents are going to want to have their fucking guys come here? Last two off seasons have been very, very disappointing. And it kind of makes you think maybe people just don't want to come here. Sure, Austin Fort probably went out and had a bigger plan than signing a lot of big name free agents. But we come away with a lot of like day 3 type guys or third tier type guys. I'm having I just had this premonition today, like maybe the guys just don't want to come here with all the fucking reports that we've seen in the off seasons. Word's spreading around the NFL about, the Cardinals, and it's going to be a big off season because we have money. So you need to go out there and fucking spend some money, bring some guys in, and hopefully they don't fucking bust for you.
I mean, why would they want to come here then? We are a rebuilding team with a shitty owner, both in terms of just in terms of how he treats his players, how he treats people in general. We have barely functional facilities. We're not a destination that anybody wants to come to.
You have to overpay, and you have to not fucking miss on those guys that you overpay.
That is a tall order, though.
An ideal choice for teams. Monty Ossenfort's not in an envious position, other than all his draft picks which he did himself. You know, he's the one who fucking went out. He didn't inherit all these draft picks, you know. So Monty Ossenfort has to be able to have enough flexibility and enough leash from Bidwell to be able to do what he wants to do. Otherwise, this is never going to work. If Bidwell's hanging over his head, this shit's never fucking going to work. You know, just thinking about this season irritates me. You know, we weren't expecting this team to be good, but I don't know. It's just disappointing. The way we started to the way we look now.
It's what happened is simple.
It's expected, but going through a season like this fucking sucks. I hate it.
When you have that many losses and you just go through that level of failure, it's so easy to lose morale and lose that dog in you that it just all kind of falls apart eventually. You know, we saw a lot of hustle out of this team in the early few weeks back when we thought, well, you know, we ain't the best, but we got the dog in us. And, you know, that goes out the window as soon as as soon as the losses start piling up.
Yeah,
it's so easy to get
Kaiser White who gets hurt. You're switching him up with fucking Josh Woods. Like, that's a huge drop off right there. So you can't expect anything else, really. You know, so it is what it is. You give a shout out to everyone in the chat. You know, what up, Ivan, Derek, Low Tone Capone, Colby, what's going on? We appreciate you guys for joining us. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and like. We're kind of free balling it today. I didn't rewatch the game. I usually rewatch the games. You know, I did go back a little bit and look to see if James Conner got hurt on that first possession of the second half, because noticed he didn't get a snap after that, but he did not. So they were just giving Michael Carter, you know, DeMarcado a look. But yeah, so we appreciate you guys. Jackie, what are you sipping on tonight? Anything?
Nothing for me because I still have my kiddo. So I have to do the mom thing. I do have to give her back for the month of December. So I will finish out the season strong and drunk.
Nice. Woo!
Not woo, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm not sipping on anything tonight since I'm on a walk.
Any threesomes lately, Will?
Was that?
Any threesomes going on lately?
Oh, we just said at the same time. What the great line?
Not a minute now.
Oh, sorry to hear. Any more emails from your sweet mates?
No text from my sweet mates. Although I the first time I had that person over this semester, after it was all done, I texted my sweet mate a link to the song "Sorry for Party Rocking."
Oh my god! Not Will getting more ass than us, Mac.
I don't know about you. You're at the fucking game and matching sweaters last week. You should be getting all the ass. Come on, man.
I mean,
sweaters.
Yeah, we were in our cute matching sweaters. May or may not got some ass afterwards.
She did buy the first Christmas we were together. She bought matching Christmas shirts for the family, for our family party. I'm not wearing that fucking shit. I'm not. We are not. I'm not doing that.
Yes, the fuck you are.
Hey, I'm married and I did not. You know, 1 month yesterday. I survived. It's official.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
All right, you gotta last longer than 3 years. Then you will surpass me in the marriage department.
We'll see. We'll take it 1 minute at a time. Right now, she's not here, so I'll survive to the next minute. I'll be good.
Well,
anybody got anything to say in the comments? Anybody? What are you guys all looking forward to moving forward the rest of this season, other than what you want to see from Kyler Murray? You know, we all want to see.
Low Tone Capone says, free agents. He was so much nicer on the plane.
Yeah, that's our only selling point is this motherfucker has a plane.
Or they step off the plane and they go to our practice facility and like it looks so much nicer from the plane. The fuck? Sooner or later they gotta upgrade the practice facility. That thing has been there since the 80s. Right off that little fucking corner on Warner and Hardy. They gotta do something, man. They gotta upgrade. Michael Bidwell, if you can't do it, sell the fucking team. Mark Cuban just sold his share for $3.5 billion. Sell your fucking team if you can't do it, Bidwell.
Well, see, Well, maybe that's the problem. We're spending all the money on the plane and none on the team.
That's what I'm saying. Like, cool,
Right.
you got a
So
fucking plane, but like
this
other
this
teams
team
get-
is an elaborate con for Bidwell to show as many people as possible his cool plane. He's like, guys, you got to check out my plane. It's so cool, right?
It feels like it's just one of those things where it's like it's been in his family so long where, you know, no matter what, it's not even about the money for him anymore. It's just about the stigma of owning, you know, an NFL franchise. But there's got to come a point, you know, we've talked about this, Jackie. We need to see that smoking gun. You see reports coming out all the time, seemingly monthly, about him. Until we see a real smoking gun, you know, with Robert Sarver, it was like the sexual fucking harassment stuff. That's what really fucking, you know, boiled things over. Until then, I don't know. We'll see. Derek says he wants to see McBride put this offense on his back if he's healthy. I love the way Trey McBride runs, man. Him and James Conner, if you have those two right there, they're going to punish defenses. And for fantasy purposes, I would love to see Trey McBride pop off during the fantasy playoffs, but we'll see. You know, it started off so good that first week against Atlanta when, you know, he went over 100 yards. And in the last couple of weeks, he's not as open as much, but I mean, shit, McBride has been showing he's been able to catch in traffic. He's the one big body guy that Kyler actually has right now. In the way he can possess the ball in traffic, you just got to keep throwing it to him. I mean, you got to give him double-digit targets every fucking game from here on out. You know, weather impending in Pittsburgh. If you guys just joining us, it's supposed to be raining from today or tomorrow until Monday in Pittsburgh. So do not expect a high-scoring game. Whatever that under is in the game, smash that under, that over-under. Smash that under for sure. It's got to be fucking low 30s. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's 35. Let me double check real quick. But while you guys,
but what you're saying is, like, I felt like this last game that we weren't looking at McBride as often as we should have, and I just feel like over the last few weeks we've been force feeding fucking Hollywood, and I'm just over that.
No, downfield too. It's like we want to see downfield shots, but I mean,
to other receivers, like fucking let Greg Dortch go downfield.
You need Greg Dortch downfield.
His 5'7" ass mossed a fucking 6-foot DB.
Oh, he's the one guy who will actually go up.
And
Hollywood, I don't feel like even tries to really go up, you know, because he knows he's not going to get over him. Greg Dortch will fight through a motherfucker to get that ball. No, I agree. I agree 100% about that. Let me see what this over-under is real quick. What do you got, Will? Tell me something. Tell me a joke.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Smash. I'm putting all my money on the under.
What do you think our 3 points of emphasis should be on the draft? Just any three positions. What three positions should we focus on?
Interior cornerback. Take
Jackie?
that for. I mean, offensive line, D line.
I'm like, where do I
quarterback.
start?
Those are my three.
Get us a number one corner. Get us some guys on the offensive line, the defensive line. And maybe a running back if there's someone nice out there in the mid rounds.
I mean, obviously, like Marvin Harrison, you want.
Yeah,
him.
Marvin Harrison bust.
That's just best. That's best player in the draft right there.
If I had the choice, I'd say Will Shipley out of Clemson for running back. I think we can get him on either a late day 2 pick or an early day 3 pick.
Any relation to AQ Shipley?
None.
Oh. Marcel Shipley.
I saw Will Shipley play in high school. That kid's electric.
Was it in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Everybody Will's a closeted fucking Panthers fan.
No, I'm not.
Were you? Well, I have to know.
He's just a closeted Carolina fan. Right? You know this, Jackie. He's a closeted Carolina. It doesn't matter what it is. Did you not hear him stepping up for fucking Spencer Rattler earlier today?
Oh my!
He is not the problem. He is not the problem. If you had watched him last year, you'd know he's not the fucking problem.
Is that why he's not in Oklahoma anymore?
No, he's not in Oklahoma anymore because they're foolish.
What is he, like, in his 6th year right now?
He's in his 4th year.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. I don't know. I have no idea. You're in college. You should know that.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was absolutely electric in the final games last year. And this year he's got an all freshman O line. So I mean, of course there's going to be problems. All freshman O line, bad defense this year. It's not a him problem.
Where do you think he's going to get drafted? What roundish?
I'd say early day 3 pick.
Early day 2?
Early day 3.
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah.
I think he's definitely I think he's definitely a project quarterback as it stands. But I mean, I think when it comes to project quarterbacks,
in college, you're going to come out as project.
I mean, if it can happen to Case Keenum, it can happen to anybody.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
It'll be a nice job story somewhere, but like 8 years from now.
Slob dob.
Slob dob.
That's
He's a slob dob. That guy
I'm trying to get my slob dob, you dig?
All right, folks, it's time to go. I like you so much better, Will, when you're like in high school and all innocent. You had no idea what alcohol was, and
now he's fucking bitches and going to parties.
Right.
Oh shit! And you know that there was that night I texted you guys like 2 weeks ago. I was like drunk off of like 5 shots of vodka.
Was that when you asked us what should you drink, Miller Lite or Modelo?
No, that was the night prior because I was at a.
I did.
That was the night he asked me what goes good with vodka, and I said everything.
As I'm drinking a Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a comedy show the night prior. They didn't have alcohol, like an alcohol bar. They had a beer bar. So I was asking because those were the cheapest.
Modelo.
You always go Modelo.
Modelo.
Do we know
Mexican beer over damn near anything American?
Anyways, shall we do pick'ems?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Who even won the last time? Did we do a lot? Did we keep track of that? All right.
This season's going to hell.
All right. Opening up your 1 o'clock slate of games. You actually got a good one opening up here. If you had told me this would be a good one opening of the season, I would not have believed you. Broncos, Texans. Who do you guys got?
Texans.
I'm going Broncos. I want Texans pick to be better.
Oh, true. But yeah, I'm still going Texans.
The Broncos are red hot right now. I think they'll come into Houston, and I think they'll come in ready. I think they're going to.
And who would have thought that after getting hung 70 points on them? You know, they be stepping up, and you know, good for them. Good for Russell Wilson. He looks like a fucking pretty decent quarterback compared to what he was last year. You know, and I said it earlier in the offseason, you know, the Broncos needed Sean Payton more than we did. You know, we have to do a whole culture reset. Ours is going to take years, you know, at least a fucking 1 year wash, no matter what, which is what we're going through. And now you're seeing it, you know, after a shitty month for Denver, you know, they're playing inspired ball behind a coach where, you know, they believe in. So, you know, as much as we all clowned on Denver and Sean Payton to start the season, good for them. You know, that's where I want to be next year. I want to be that team fucking accelerating into December, not fucking falling apart. You know, give us that. Hello.
Who else we got?
Next up, we've got Chargers, Patriots. Do we even have to say it?
That's a team that needs to fucking get a quarterback like yesterday.
I mean, Chargers, man, they find ways to lose. If they lose to the New England, it's in New England, right? It's going to be snowing. Yeah. It's going to be snowing.
I've heard a lot of people say that next year, Belichick is looking to coach for the Chargers.
Yeah,
so this is the Belichick Bowl?
I can't believe fucking Brandon Staley hasn't gotten fired yet. How do you not get fired after the way he ended last year? And now you're 4-7 with Justin Herbert and a fucking team that was expected to actually make
a resurgent Keenan Allen?
Oh my god.
Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's on fire.
Yeah, him and Herbert are fucking carrying me in fucking fantasy. So,
shout out. There's too much talent on that team for them to be so ass.
And for that coach not to get fired yet. It's unbelievable.
So being said, he better fucking get fired if he loses to fucking Mac Jones.
Yeah. I thought he was getting fired last week. The way they fucking look. But I am picking the Chargers because New England. Thank you, New England. You've been winning me money on Sundays. Because somehow they keep on getting favored against these other shitty teams. And I'm like, no, they're not going to win that fucking game. So I think that they're going to definitely get their brains beat in. But if it's a snowy game, it could be a close game. And Chargers are immune to winning close games. So we'll see.
Yeah, I've got New England on this one.
You got New England?
I got New England.
What?
You just said, do we even need to go over the picks? Like it was a foregone conclusion.
He mind fucked us right there.
He did.
Then you reminded me of the Chargers chargering, and it's just like, you know what? Sure.
Yeah.
After that, we got New Orleans versus Detroit.
Detroit.
I'm going New Orleans.
Really?
Detroit fucked me on Thanksgiving. I bet against people who fucked me in bets. They fucked me on Thanksgiving betting. The morning game too is wake up, get ready to watch some football, throw on some coffee. Next thing you know, your bet's in the fucking toilet. So fuck you, Detroit. I'm going to New Orleans. New Orleans has a good defense. They have a pretty good defense. And I think if Detroit can't get their offense going, they're in a little bit of trouble. So we'll see. That's in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be a close game.
After that, we got Jets-Falcons. Who do you got?
You fucking pussy.
Falcons.
ATL. Yeah. Sorry, the fucking Seahawks kicker just shanked the fucking ball, and I just picked him up right before the game. Go on.
I will not be doing the chant this week. The Giants and Bills are on bye, and the Jets are going to lose to the Falcons.
All right.
I cannot pretend to be a Tim Boyle fanatic. God, talk about a guy who failed upwards. Anyway, Colts Titans.
San Fran.
Tim Boyle?
Yeah.
No, he was Aaron Rodgers' backup when he was back in Green Bay. His college career.
How about that fucking guy?
His college career is baffling because even in his best year at Eastern Kentucky, you want to know what his touchdown to interception ratio was?
Yeah.
10 and 13.
Jesus.
For his entire college career,
he's white and 6'4", right? We don't have to. Yeah, we can move on.
Sorry, hello? I had my microphone muted because my kid's screaming.
Oh, it's fine. You heard. I tried listening to our last episode, Jackie, and I had to turn it off after 2 minutes because our fucking dogs are fucking barking like fucking hyenas.
What do we got, Will?
Will.
Colts, Titans.
Colts.
Titans. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Colts. I thought you were.
Are you getting your knob slobbed right now?
Right.
Why are you so
Colts?
Colts.
I thought you guys didn't hear who the other team was for a second. So Colts win.
We did.
After that, we got Miami versus Washington. Do we have to say it?
Miami versus Washington. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking Miami.
All right.
After that, we got Panthers Bucks. Who do we got?
Ugh. The Bucks.
I know Will thinking about going Carolina, so I'll let him to be the one to do that. I'm going Tampa with Jackie.
Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. Carolina's gonna win the game.
You're an idiot.
Oh, yeah, they fired what's his ass. So, yeah, they might win, actually. but I'm not wavering.
I think they're gonna fuck up their the Bears pick. I think they're gonna win this week.
That'd be huge. That'd be huge.
After that, we got Browns Rams. Who do you guys got?
Ooh, this is a fun one.
I gotta go Rams. Do the Browns are they playing with Joe Flacco this week? Is that what I saw? He's taking reps with the first team.
Did they sign him? I thought he was just on a plane. I didn't know they signed him.
Yeah, they signed him.
And Dorian Thompson has a concussion right now. So like yesterday or today that Joe Flacco was taking reps with the first team.
Damn, I'm out of touch. Okay. Yeah, Browns, I guess. Shit. I didn't know that.
I should not have. You want Browns now because Joe Flacco's playing.
Yeah. The level, I mean, they've got an elite quarterback repping them, you know?
A Super Bowl winning quarterback at that.
Exactly. What can be better than that?
I'm going to say it's the Rams if they do start Flacco because he's fucking old. Like, why?
Because there's fucking not many good quarterbacks on this earth, apparently.
Well, they had P.J. Walker. He beat the fucking 49ers.
Is he hurt too?
So that's why I don't get why they got Flacco because I'm like, they had P.J. Walker.
Did he get hurt, P.J. Walker?
I have no idea.
Anyways, let's move on.
After that, we have the game of the week, Niners, Eagles. Who do you got?
Oh, you're right, Jackie.
What?
He's still there. Yeah, P.J. Walker is fucking still there.
Unless they just
he's behind Flacco on the depth chart.
What?
Yeah. That's from 1 day ago. Kevin Stefanski said Wednesday that Walker has been surpassed by Joe Flacco on Cleveland's depth chart.
That's humiliating.
That is pretty bad. For that coach's sake, I hope fucking Flacco can do something because that's a bad look. Especially when you're right. He fucking led them to help lead them to a win over San Fran.
Well.
And he had his TD last week too, even when he came in after Dorian. All right. So Will, you got Cleveland. Congrats. Let's move it along.
All right, we got Niners, Eagles, our game of the week.
I'm going Philly. I can't go against them.
Yeah, I'm going to say Philly.
Yeah, their QB play is too special when it comes down to it, in my opinion.
Can I just say I'm a Jalen Hurts hater?
You're a Jalen Hurts hater?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like a legit reason why, but I'm just like, you know what? This motherfucker needs a hater, and it's going to be me.
No, the Eagles are fraudulent. I will be the first to say it. Nobody ever says this, famously. No, it's going to be a Niners dub.
All right.
For Monday Night Football, we have Packers Chiefs. Or sorry, for Sunday Night Football.
A better matchup, maybe like a couple years ago.
Right.
That would have been killer a couple years ago.
I got KC across the board, huh?
Yep, Kansas City. Fuck Green Bay.
Fuck
Kansas
Green
City.
Bay.
It's going to be Kansas City.
All right, let's move it along.
Monday Night Football, we have a game that looked a lot better 2 weeks ago. We have Cincinnati versus Jaguars, the Cat Bowl. Who do you got?
I'm going to say the Jaguars.
Jags.
Yeah.
And of course, all of this leads us to, at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Arizona time, your Arizona Cardinals versus the steel making, the beans eating, we need to keep Big Ben out of our house. I'm having a fucking stroke. Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, fuck it. I'm going Pittsburgh 20-13. I don't see, we had someone comment a month ago or whatever, whenever we played the Bengals, that they couldn't envision how the Bengals could beat us.
Very easily.
Yeah. And I can't vision a scenario where the Cardinals pull this one out. You know, unless you have a James Conner 150, 200-yard game in the rain. How depleted our defense is and how formidable their rushing attack is. That is, to me, what it's going to come down to between, Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. I think they just run all over us. 2013 Pittsburgh, unfortunately.
I'm never going to bet against my Cardinals.
Stop saying that and bet
Very
against
famously. Very famously.
So I'm going to say we win fucking 10-7.
Sorry, I cut you off. What'd you say?
I said we win 10-7.
Sorry.
I feel like this is going to be one of those games that you'd see like an NFL films documentary about if it was a game that took place in the 1940s. There'll be a Hall of Fame tight end who had like 5 touchdowns in his career, but they swear, oh well.
Read all about it. Come on in, Kyler Murray facing Kenny Pickett. Come on in, read all about it.
You'll have a 90-year-old man say, "Oh, Royce Calhoun, he only had 5 touchdowns, but he could block like the best of them." That kind of thing.
You know what was pathetic?
What's that?
The Cardinals' second longest running play of last week was their fake punt.
Jeesh.
No fucking way.
Yep.
That fake punt that didn't do shit for us in the end.
Yeah. The 10-yard fake punt. Yep. Where we end up punting anyways or something. Second longest run. And that shit is what pisses me off. Like, you have James Conner pound the fucking rock. You go away from it so early. That really irritated me. Will, who do you got?
I got the Steelers. I think they win a very low-scoring affair. I think it's going to be something like 16-10.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Well, thank you guys all for joining us. We appreciate you. I know this last month or so hasn't been easy for any of us, but we're glad to be here talking little Cardinals football. It's always easier during a win, after a win, so it kind of sucks recently, but we are here, and hopefully, Kyler Murray will show a little bit more progress. Calm down. Moving forward and heading into this offseason, so we can hear all these people stop talking about Cardinals are going to draft a quarterback. Cardinals are going to draft a quarterback, because in the best interest of the Cardinals is if Kyler Murray plays well next year, and we can fucking use that number 2 pick and that Texans pick on non-quarterbacks to build a roster that needs help being built. It's no secret. This team is not a good roster. It's not this roster is not a good team so far. First year under Austin Ford. It's no surprise really to anybody, but this offseason is huge. And if you have to spend one of those picks on a quarterback, to me, that can really still start putting the franchise back even further than what it is.
So here's a question that I don't think any of us are going to like. Do we expend any capital in the draft on a quarterback?
No.
Well, I don't.
We got fucking Clayton Tune. Who needs them?
Yeah, you just got Clayton Tune. If you don't believe in Clayton Tune, maybe you'll fucking sign a veteran fucking guy, who can come in here and in a pinch can start a couple of games, who has games under his belt of experience, and it isn't just a rookie. Because from what we saw, against Cleveland, who knows if Clayton Tune is going to be that guy who can be a serviceable backup next year. I don't know. I don't think any of us saw anything that say he could be, but I think it's a benefit for the Cardinals if we don't. No, yeah, I think I agree with Jackie.
All I'm saying is Spencer Rattler is going to look mighty fine in the Cardinals jersey.
Anyways, this has been Will's last episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast. You can find him on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing. Send him your fucking hate DMs and pictures of your cock.
Dick pics for sure.
Joke's on you. I sent back.
Wow.
Yeah, no. Someone do it for science. Do it.
A hypothesis. My hypotheses.
All right, Will.
Sign us
Any
off.
last thoughts or take us out?
I've got nothing. This has been another spectacular episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Live on That Swing.
My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at jsandiego. That is with 2 O's.
And I'm Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZ Sports Fiend. That's FIEN. And thank you guys all for being here with us for another episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast, 2023 edition. Hopefully we'll see you next week after a Cardinals victory or a Cardinals loss, whatever your mindset is about where we want to draft, pick in the draft.
Oh, that number one pick can't come soon enough. Good night.
Peace.